I'm getting a treasure, you guys.
Treasure? Hey, it's a fairy. How suck would it be if she just like flew off without you?
I'd be so mad. I wish that when you open stuff that it was just in your inventory and not you have to go chase it.
I mean, for the most part, you do just automatically get it. But things like that, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Alright, maybe these spiders have some.
There's a little Skulltulas. I can never pronounce those monsters' names right. I think they're Skulltulas. I definitely thought you just cut off one of his legs, and I was going to be impressed.
That would have been sweet. How does it keep doing this to me?
Too close. Gotta use the lunge.
Alright, so you don't have what I want. What I want is a fairy.
What you got? No!
What I want, you got that might be hard to handle. Is that what you're going for?
That's the rhythm I was looking
like
for.
The flame that burns the candle.
I also don't know that song very well.
Flame. What? I just died, you guys.
I was gonna say, I really hope you have a fairy. It's because you're so adamant about killing this guy. You're just like, he needs to die.
I really want him to have a fairy. I'm like...
Oh, you're on the hunt for fairies, after what I said.
I know. What you've done!
I mean, I could look up the fairies.
Ugh, that stench! I don't care that much. I mean, if it happens, it happens.
I guess that's fair. I mean, one way or another, if we come back for the fairies later, we will probably be using a walkthrough. We're not necessarily going for authenticity here. We're going for design conversations. Although, I guess being lost in a temple for fucking ever...
I missed the coin!
Looking for fairies
Yum.
kind of encourages interesting design conversations. So I guess we'll see if we come to that point. Whatever we're feeling is the better option for quality.
It's so weird in this game. By the doors, you see the indent, but there physically is not. Like, you can't walk into the threshold.
Oh yeah, well, that's pretty normal because the collision box is actually it's flush with the wall.
I know, but it goofs me up because I'm like I'm waiting for the indent because in other Zelda games that's what I do. If I'm against the wall, I just go like that, and then as soon as I hit the indent, I hit open, and I just go for like a feel. You know?
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. Did they do that in... They couldn't have done that in Ocarina of Time, did they?
Probably not, but I haven't played that one in a while. I'm talking like the more modern ones.
Yeah, okay, that's totally fair. What they probably did in this, and this is totally a resource efficiency thing too, I bet you that wall, that entire wall is one giant collision box, because it's resource-wise, resource meaning like the memory in the hardware of the console. It's more efficient to have one giant collision box because it's one calculation versus like the 4 collision boxes you would probably need if you wanted to have the indented door.
I mean, I don't blame them. It makes total sense. It's just something I've noticed compared to newer games where they are more sophisticated with it.
I'm just saying, like, that's probably how they set it up. And then when you trigger the door opening, what happens is that all the collision boxes are disabled, and then an animation is played because the control is removed from the player. So it doesn't matter if the collision boxes are there anymore because it's not acting off of physics anymore. It's acting on the animation.
Also,
if that makes sense.
I wanted to draw your attention to the fact that I cut grass in front of the fairy. So literally anything you do in this game, in this dungeon, you can find a fairy.
Yeah.
And my fighting the Skulltulas, whatever the fuck their name is, it made sense!
Oh, okay, I won't give you flack for that. I wonder if that's... I don't know if that's good or bad design. Because it seems like the fairies are arbitrarily placed, it kind of it could be deemed as unfair to the player, right? Like, it's not.
I'm not timing this very well, am I?
Well, it's not timed.
What attack am I supposed to use?
He attacks you on proximity. So what you need to do is either a jab which I don't remember exactly how you do it, or what I usually do.
Yep, there's a fairy.
Oh, all right. What I usually do with killing those guys is I do the jump attack. So you do the Z targeting, draw your blade, take a few steps back, and then just hit A. Now, of course, if you place it poorly, then you're screwed, and then you're gonna get hurt. But if you place Link in the right spot, you'll kill it immediately, and then you won't have to worry about getting hurt. But that's just me.
These annoying mobs that attack me as I run.
Oh, I forgot about those. They are kind of annoying. So I definitely forgot to set the timer again, and this episode might be a little long. Or a little short. Depending on how good my adjustment is.
Fiddle-a-doo.
Yeah. Oh wait, is this the dungeon item? Or is this just like a compass?
I'm pretty sure this is a map.
Have you gotten the compass yet?
No. This is the first chest I'm opening. That's why I think it's the map. Usually get the map first. Oh no, you got the compass first. Alrighty.
It's always weird when you get the compass before the map.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I using this for exactly?
Right? You get all these little icons on your screen where the mini-map would be, but it's like, how... First of all, how would Link... Well, okay, I guess the conversation could be, how the fuck would a compass tell you where the treasure is in a dungeon room?
Oh, I gotta fight this motherfucker again?
Oh, so that you can light those torches?
Uh-huh. There's a torch upstairs. Nope.
Try backing up a little bit.
Like, this far?
Yeah. Alright, maybe that's too far. There you go. That's the kind of attack you need to use. And then you just have to, like, backflip out of there.
Nope. I really don't like these guys.
Bam. Yeah,
they're easier in some of the other games.
Oh, without a doubt. They're easier in most of the other games. I think, at least. Certainly easier in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, I should have done it over here. I'm such a dope.
Oh, I didn't even realize that torch was lit.
Oh, wait. I lit it before, and I'm so silly. I didn't have to go do that again.
I wasn't paying attention, to be totally honest with you.
He goes down the stairs really slowly.
Does he? It's a little weird.
Wow.
Especially considering that the stairs are just a slanted collider.
He goes, look at that!
Oh yeah, you're right. They must have some, like...
What the fuck?
Animation
How did it die already?
You're taking too long.
I don't know how to go any faster up the stairs.
Gotta do the roll. Rolly roll.
God.
Run, 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 run. Move those little feet.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah.
Bam! There you go. Well, you're gonna need it anyway for burning down that web.
Oh, god damn it. Well, I'm gonna get some pots first. Slash some pots. Ow! I needed those.
Nice.
That worked out in my favor.
Faux show.
He has some seriously good backflips. I know we've already talked about that, but I'm just like super jelly.
I love it though. Like, it's purely aesthetic, but it gives, I don't know, it gives so much more life into your actions. Especially in a game where, you know, you're jumping across platforms like half of the game.
Oh yeah.
Making little things like that any more satisfying to accomplish makes it that much worth it, because if it's dull and boring and uninteresting and just void of any life, then the player's not going to really get anything out of it. They'll just get bored of it faster.
I totally agree.
But if you feel like a badass every time you do a jump to another platform, you're just like, yeah, I want more. Oh, I love jumping. Jumping and jumping.
Jumping and jumping and jump.
I like the design of this room, actually.
Really?
Because
it's like darkness and the little evil guys.
I remember when I played this for the first time, I thought this was spooky, you know, and really exciting and scary, dangerous. Because you're introduced to these little shadow sprites at the very beginning of the temple. When you fall down, these are the little dudes that try to attack you. And even if you don't fall down there, you can kind of see them, so you know that they exist. And even if you don't see them, I guess it doesn't make a huge difference. But it's, you know, they're not so scary then.
Oh, I killed them all this time and I got something. I didn't get this last time.
Oh, yeah, you must not have killed all of them last time.
Oh, beautiful.
But now you enter this room and the lights dim.
Yes.
Nice. The lights dim and you know something's happening. And you see their eyes peeking out through the darkness. And then you get afraid because you're like, holy shit, this is going to be hard because I can't see them and not, you know, super well.
And your fairy's like, I sense great evil here.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's even better. It builds up to something really cool. And like, you know, retrospectively, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just like, oh, you kill some and then you move on. But that's cool, right? That's a lot of flavor for a single room that's just this tiny little challenge.
You know what? I feel like going down there.
And it switches it up in a way. I don't think there's anything down there, is there?
There's grass. And then maybe I can, yes, kill those guys.
But yeah,
it's the Z or whatever the targeting is in this game. It's not that great because I'll be near them and I'll push it and it doesn't latch on.
Yeah, that's always been one of the struggles in these games, I feel. I mean, it definitely got better in the later games, but...
And in this game you have to use it.
Well, really in all of the games you have to use it. If you don't use it, it's still possible to beat the game, but it's damn hard. There's a reason why the Z targeting existed as soon as the first 3D Zelda game was made. Because 3D games are very difficult to be accurate, you know? And in a 2D game, it doesn't matter, because you only have 2 dimensions to deal with, so being accurate is really simple. But as soon as you add that 3rd dimension, the variation of where you can aim is so complex that, you know, it's hard.
Yup. Hanging out in the flower.
Yeah. And now we play the waiting game.
Yep.
I don't really like these moving platforms.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. They are often difficult to land on. They don't offer much right now as far as challenge because you just went around, killed everything, and then you jumped across the platforms. It's not really interesting. It was actually more interesting when we were jumping around in the Deku Palace. I don't actually know the name of that place. But when we were trying to rescue the monkey, it was more interesting because you had those little Deku guys actually in the flower, and so you had to kill them before you could advance. And that was really cool. And you couldn't kill them ahead of time, you had to kill them in the moment.
Yep.
And that was 10 times more engaging than this, where it's just some dudes floating around, some moving platforms, boop-a-doop-a-doop, you kill them, then you jump across these moving platforms, and then you're done. It's just, it's pointless. That room didn't need to exist.
Yep, I agree.
There was nothing new. Nothing new to be learned or gained. And that's, I mean, you could argue that that's not necessary, but I will always argue that if you're not gaining something out of a different challenge, then it's pointless and you probably should not have it. Because then it gets dull and not interesting. So why even bother wasting your player's time? You know? Mm-hmm. Same arguments made for a lot of RPGs where grinding and killing things for hours on end happens.
Oh, yeah.
But like, what's really to be gained? Your game's not getting better from the player spending more time in it. I mean, great if the player does spend a lot of time in it, because hopefully you're doing something right enough to where they're engaged and they want to continue interacting with it. But that doesn't make your game good.
Oh.
Not by a long shot, at least. That's something that I'm happy died in the 90s, where that was the philosophy of a lot of studios, was that if your game had hours and hours, the more hours of content it had, the better it was and the more expensive you could sell it. That was literally the mentality of a lot of publishers.
Why do you think we had so many multiple disc games?
Exactly, and that's why you see games like fucking, I don't know, like Baldur's Gate. And no offense, BioWare, like, we love you. And I think I've actually brought this up in one of our playthrough videos of fucking Fable, which may not even be on the YouTube channel anymore by the time you guys see this video. But that was the philosophy, right? Like, they made that game take very long, and there was a lot of grinding and a lot of like tedious tasks. And while that game was still fantastic, you could always argue that a lot of that content could be cut out and the game would still be fantastic.
He does not get out of the way very quickly. Like,
Who,
you have,
Link?
yeah.
You could use what's right now the attack button. You can actually use it to backflip out of the way.
Yeah, but being able to jump to the side, you should be able to do that quick enough. I would think so. That's one of my usual fighting tactics in Zelda games, is to jump to the side and swirl to the side. But in this game, it's not fast enough. You'd almost have to jump back instead.
Yeah, I could see how that would be detrimental. It's been so long since I've played this, I actually don't remember how quick it is, but...
Ooh, I don't have another fairy, you guys.
Oh shit. Well, maybe you'll die in the next episode because oh well. Well, now you're good.
They
all right.
saved my life.
Well, that's all for this episode. So
Next time I'll shoot that fucking eye.
Wow. What did it ever do to you?
It's looking at me funny.